Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the One Meal Channel, where I make only one meal because I only eat one meal a day. And if you want to enjoy watching this video as much as I like making this video, grab yourself food or beverage of your choice and let's enjoy this experience together. Well, hello everyone. We're still sticking with our smaller meals, although we usually have meals up to 2 or 3 pounds because that's what it takes to sustain myself. It is the weekend, which means that I have enjoyed, let's just say, a little bit of breakfast and time out. Let's double check here real quick and make sure that I'm grabbing the right tortillas. We have roommate tortillas and we have my tortillas. I believe he has the Mission tortillas. Yep, and these corn ones are mine as well, which means these I have in my hand are also mine. We're going to make a simple omelet for ourselves, and actually, let me get this lighting improved just a little. We have it on dim lighting. That's better. Let's get the lighting improved, show you what I'll make for breakfast sometimes. Noah oftentimes will have something like this in the morning, and it's really simple. So, strip bacon is preferable, because it helps with portion control and just sizing. We'll put 2 strips of bacon here down the middle and then a couple of eggs on each side and turn that into a meal for oneself. Perfect amount of food, perfect amount of quantity. I like taking advantage of like the bacon end pieces. It's less expensive and you get kind of more quantity. You get like 3 pounds of bacon. Haven't used this in a while, but we're just going to dive in and use as much as we can right now. And as you can see, not all of the pieces are, in fact, end pieces. These two are actually quite strip-like themselves. So we'll move this here, put this right into the middle. Perfect. Make sure everything is separated properly with oneself. And any little extra pieces we'll just kind of put around on the side. This is a really easy way to cook something up for yourself in the morning or meal prep for yourself the day before if you have to get up early the next day but you don't want to have to grab breakfast while you're at the office or wherever you need to go. Yeah, I remember when I first worked, like my real job, let's see, all of the jobs I had. My first job was as a ticket counter at one of those little play places that are kind of like Chuck E. Cheese when I was in high school. And then they moved me into the kitchen and I would do prep. And then one of the people that usually did the cooking was out that day, and so they had me work a little bit on the line. And then after a while, a couple of years, I got to be co-cook, which was nice. So I wasn't old enough to be a supervisor. Those guys were in college, a couple of gals as well. And the person who was a cook had been there a year before me, and he was specifically wanted to go into a career of cooking. And so he ended up being a general manager at a place. So my next job was as a dishwasher. I wanted to be a cook. I went off to college. I was paying for my own apartment, was paying for my own schooling, didn't get any sort of government grants, although I applied for them. And let's see, it's almost time to take the trash out. I wanted to be a cook, but nobody knew who I was, and so I just was a dishwasher, and I worked there for about 6 months. Moving truck person, so I helped people with moving trucks. Then I went over on the commercial side and started moving furniture for corporations. And then I actually got a job at a corporation, which was my first sales job. And that was my first kind of like desk job where I wasn't moving around. And I had to get up extremely early, like at 5 o'clock, leave, probably 4:30, leave by like 5:15, get there at the office before 6, meeting at 6:15, got to leave at 3 o'clock. And because I had to get up so early, it was really, really difficult to eat the right type of food. So they would always have food there at the office, but it was things like donuts, it was things like pastries, basically just a lot of high carb items that were there, and they'd only bring good food out when they had their partners in. And so I was eating a lot of crap, and it became really difficult for me to manage my diet. So if I had just done something like this from the beginning, had this ready for myself, I could throw it in the microwave even when I got to work. If I didn't have time to do so before work, so I got up, late, and I need to rush out the door. This would have been perfect. So we're just going to give this a little flip. Turn the temp over to medium, just get it pretty well cooked. And then we're going to add our 4 eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've had little oopsies from time to time with eggs that have fallen off the side of the counter. Hopefully it doesn't happen now. Yeah. Nice and simple, easy meal for myself. Get all this done, get all this eaten, get a nice sleep tonight, come back tomorrow, we'll clean this entire kitchen, get everything looking nice and spiffy so all this splatters and grease stuff goes away. Give this another flip. Little pieces are going to cook up just fine. And that'll be good enough because it'll continue to cook while we have our eggs in. So 4 eggs. There's 2. There's 3. And 4. And Noah, my roommate, he has a good technique because those yolks sometimes won't get cooked all the way through when it's cooked like this. I used to scramble mine up. They used to not get cooked if you left them in this yolk form. He will break the yolk and drag it like this. Cook a little bit better. Take our lid. The lid on top to contain all of that heat so that potentially we don't even need to flip it. I don't think he usually flips his. And we'll do a little bit of prep work as well. Take a look at this. A little bit of garlic salt. Good. And a little bit of pepper. I'm grabbing the pepper that is unopened the last couple of times. So a little bit left over of this pepper. I think this is its last leg. Put that away. Open up our new pepper. Ooh. Nice and pressure sealed. Put that back. Nice. Ooh, it smells good. Wow. Alright, we'll put our lid back on. And ideally, you have yourself a little bit of cheese on top as well. I do not have any cheese. It doesn't look like Noah has any either. So we're going to go cheeseless today, which is okay. Minor details, my friend. We'll let all of this cook up. And ideally, you have a second pan, one a little bit larger than this, where you can put a tortilla and cook that tortilla up and warm it up just a little bit. We're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to wait for that meal to cook up, and we'll take our tortilla and put it in the exact same pan that we had before. It won't be that big of a deal. And now you have time to relax. All in all, this should only take about 20 minutes to put together, which gives us plenty of opportunity to enjoy our 64-ounce water bottle. You know, while we're at it, let's enjoy some other things too. A little bit every day wouldn't hurt. We'll take our chicken stock. Good source of glucosamine. Good for your joints. My joints suck. My joints are awful. I'm a pretty young guy. I have pretty awful joints. I had a couple of double shoulder dislocations. Knees stayed fine for the most part. Absolutely crushed my ankle. I used to work, well, work is kind of the wrong term, but I used to get paid cash as a kid. I was probably 15, 16, to go cut down trees and limb them and buck them, which just means cutting them to size, like 32 and a half inches, 32 and a half feet, so that they can get picked up for a local lumber yard that was nearby. So I don't know if you ever watched the show Axemen. I wasn't quite doing the stuff they were doing, but more or less, I was wearing the chaps. I was using the chainsaw, wearing the face mask, marking trees that were good for size. And I absolutely just eviscerated my ankle. I had all of the trees cut. We had a big piece of machinery. I wasn't allowed to use the machinery, but we brought them up to the landing. The truck came up to pick up we were bringing the trees to the landing. That's what it was. We were bringing the trees to the landing, and if this is the log and this is the machine was turning, had a little cable wrapped around it, and the log touched the track that the big machine was using. The track was going this direction, pushed down on it, and it flipped that log where I was standing over here, and it bound my foot up to another log that was resting there. So it's an absolute miracle that I didn't break my ankle in like 3-5 different places. It could have been absolutely way worse, but it was a horrible crushing injury. So instead of like breaking in 3 spots, it just crushed every ligament and every tendon and every joint in that place, and just massive amounts of swelling. Just couldn't put any pressure on it at all for weeks. And ever since then, it has been, I mean, you'll hear my joints pop from time to time. It has some pretty visceral sounds that it will make from time to time. So this is our way to combat having major issues when I'm like in my 50s. I do take a handful of supplements as well. I used to take a lot more a while ago. I'm trying to get back into it now. I'm not going to name them all off because everybody likes to give their perspective. And I'm not averse to hearing perspectives and things, but I think you'll understand whatever you use is good, and then I use mine as well. I try to not use anything that's bad for me, but I'm already on the Daily Mail multivitamin, and I think that's good. I think everybody can agree that a Daily Mail multivitamin is good. So, the reason why 2 strips are great is you put a little line here through the middle. I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to put that right there. And the bacon and the egg meld together pretty well. So we're going to have the finishing touches now. Yeah. Pretty nice, huh? The bacon grease and everything. Gosh, it's been a while since I've had bacon grease. Oh, it's been a while since I've had bacon grease. This is nice to see. We'll add a little bit of hot sauce on top of it as well. I don't see any reason not to. I do see a reason to get some more hot sauce pretty soon. We're almost fresh out. Gosh, my phone is going off. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. I just got a new phone. Case hasn't even arrived yet. Trying to be extra careful with it. Give this a quick little rotation. Hurts my hand. So flip this around the other way. We want this to cook just a little bit more so it's not so wet, so I'll probably flip it again. But this will be good nonetheless. Nice and crispy. Nice and crispy. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let it cook really nice on that side, give it one more flip so it's just not so wet, not so moist. Oh, you love that word? We'll be right on track for a 20-minute meal. Anything that takes more than about 30-40 minutes for me is just something that I lose interest in, unless it's, you know, holidays, families in here, unless it's an experience. But cooking for myself, I mean, I do not want to spend more than an hour a day prepping, cooking, and cleaning everything that I use just in order to eat a meal. And it's one meal. Imagine I have to do that for 3 meals. I don't know how you do it. Unless you have a family. That makes sense. All right. Perfect. That side's good. That side is good, my friends. Take this, put this here. I'm gonna flip this over. There's a lot of air. What's going on here? There's a lot of air in here. Little air bubble. There we go. Let's get that out of here. You're ruining it, air bubble. So let's take this end piece. Usually you put some cheese on this to get the sides to fit together really well. Or stick to each other, put it that way. But if you cook it enough, you'll get a good crease forming. That's about all you need. Look at that. Really nice. Really nice. And then we'll get the other one set up and we'll be good to go. Love this type of meal. Love this type of meal. Alright, let's finish off our chicken broth. And this chicken broth is obviously homemade. That's why it looks so imperfect. You can obviously put all of this crap through a strainer to make it look a little bit better. But I like having all of this seasoning and having all the other stuff in there. I used to be a big beef tallow guy. Used to eat a lot of beef tallow. Used to try to cut beef bones in half and cook up that that fat that's on the inside of your bones, that marrow. I absolutely love bone marrow. Kind of a weird texture, but absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible food. This looks good to me. Let's move our tortilla here off to the left and get our last tortilla inside here. We gotta be a little bit careful because there's not as much bacon grease. Make sure we don't burn anything. Fantastic. Love that. I think we'll do a little bit of prep work as well. Put this off in the dishwasher while that tortilla is getting ready to go. Alright, I'm sure that tortilla is ready for a flip. So that's what we'll give it. Oh yeah, it is. Look at that. Just down on one side again. Let that go just a little bit longer and get ready to put some of our other stuff away. Yeah, and I'm just going to come back and wash that plate. So I'm not going to be too worried about getting that dishwasher cleaned up. And then this trash can needs to go as well. Okay, so let's give this a little turn. Very nice. Perfect. A nice crease on this, a little bit of crunch, and that will be our meal. And this is good too. You can still, so you know it's not wet. In the middle, it looks a little wet, but it's actually just nice and crispy, which is good. Yeah, I think this is good for me. We'll move this over. Bacon grease soaked, not bacon grease soaked, and we're done. So, with that being said, thank you everybody for watching another episode of the One Meal Channel. I'm going to get to eating all of this, and then I will start migrating all of my stuff over into the dishwasher. Thank you for tuning in, and tomorrow we'll be back with another video. Thank you very much. Talk to you then. Bye.